Greetings, YouTube. This mess on my bench you see here is a Kirby. This one happens to be an Ultimate G, but it could be any generation series. So there's a thing that happens with your quote-unquote all-metal parts that supposedly last forever, because they don't. Anytime you have cast aluminum, or two different metals pressed together, heat and cold will cause expansion and contraction, and eventually what will happen is these will become unpressed, especially since this isn't just a wheel, it's getting torqued with the height adjustment. So then this will happen. And some people will try to repress them in, and of course that's not proper, that won't hold, that's just going to break again. So what it has to do is you then have to replace the axle, which is just kind of an oddity with Kirby. And I've stated, before that the metal's great, but it all comes down to execution and type of metal. That was a little under torqued. I really have that one torqued on there. Ooh, we're gonna set that in the vise. On there. All right. So we've got the wheels off here, and when I put these wheels on, I'm going to put a little bit of, just a drop of Tri-Flow on there to keep them from squeaking. Though generally these don't squeak. So then these are just going to get screwed back on here. So, and if this had a set screw in it, or a roll pin through it, it would be alright. But it doesn't. And it's just one of those things that, is bound to happen. The other thing that does kind of upset me is Kirby has done notches and all sorts of nice moldings over here over the years. And now the new ones come with this sticker, and it just makes it look kind of cheap. But that's, my own 2 cents on that. So yeah, we're just going to put this back on real quick. Now we're going to show you, I'm going to rotate this around, and we're just going to show you, maybe better over here. Just kind of, so this is going to go on here. Now the other thing that's real important is to clean out the height adjustment. This needs to be cleaned out, and just a little bit of grease is going to go on there. Very little. As little as possible. It comes with too much from the factory, in fact, so don't even put as much on there. And as always, bring this to your local vacuum shop. Don't try this at home. Just going to put a little bit on there. So again, very, very little. And then I'm just going to quickly do a small coating on this. And this is going to do 2 things. One, it's going to attract dirt, but for the first couple of years it's going to cause this to move smoothly. And I'm not saying I want it to attract dirt, that's just the nature of the design. So next we're going to, real quick, just going to loosen these screws up. Again, this is steel on aluminum, so sometimes these screws up here will get seized. You just got to be real careful not to over torque stuff when you're working with these, because this aluminum that these are made out of actually is quite fragile. I would say I've seen just as many technicians strip the aluminum as I have strip and break plastic over the years. So in the auto industry, they don't ever start things with guns. They always tell you to, say guns, I mean like a drill. They always tell you to hand start things. So we're going to hand start these screws because I do not want them in any shape or form to get stripped. Though there is plenty of room if you strip out one of these screws to tap and drill a hole right next to it. Because there's plenty of extra material on a Kirby, as we all know. So that's all torqued, that's all done. So next we're just going to throw the hubcaps on. Those are just going to go on there. We'll probably clean those up a little bit. Just, even though the owner will never see it, I just want it to get clean. Nice and clean. That is the grease. So let's just put it back up on the bench and see if that's actually fixed. So, go through it. Yep, that is good to go. So that, folks, is a metal piece that breaks on Kirby fairly often. Not every Kirby, but fairly often that I stock it. So as always, please like, subscribe, and comment below.